Well, it is no ordinary motel in central Bakersfield. That's being described as a modern-day brothel, actually. And tonight we are learning new details in a massive operation to rescue over a dozen women from a human trafficking ring operating out of that motel. 17's Jason Katowski is joining us now with what he learned in court today. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Jim. An arrest affidavit has been filed. We obtained that, and we discovered that alleged prostitution and human trafficking has been going on in that location for years, and that it was a location well known to pimps through social media, through cell phone contacts. The motel's owner, Jatinbai Bhakta, and general manager Roy Dries were arrested Friday on suspicion of using the South Union Avenue establishment for sex trafficking, including the sex trafficking of minors. The affidavit says both men admitted to knowing prostitution occurred regularly on the premises. Through interviews, surveillance, search warrants on cell phones and social media, investigators determined Bhakta and Dries were involved in what was taking place at the motel, and some women said Bhakta charged pimps a certain rate if one or two girls would be using a room. He also laid down ground rules for the women. He told them if they were involved in a fight, he wouldn't let them come back and operate out of there for 3 months. And if they were beaten by a client or a pimp, he wouldn't aid them because, quote, that's part of the game, end quote. Authorities said this information was acquired over a years-long investigation, and their next hearing is going to be coming up a little later this week.
Well, this is certainly no game, that's for sure.
Yes.
So the owner and the general manager of this motel, they are complicit in all of this. What are the charges for the maximum penalties they could be facing?
The judge informed them this afternoon that the maximum penalty, if convicted, is 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
So what happens next?
Next, they have a hearing Friday. It's a detention hearing to determine if bail will be set. Some of the other human traffickers, alleged human traffickers related to this case, are being held without bail. They're going to determine Friday if bail will be set for these two men.
Okay. Jason Katowski, thanks for the update.
Thank you, Jim.
And we want to let you know there are a few ways to call for help against human trafficking. You can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline. It's 1-888-373-7888, or Child Protective Services, or the CPS hotline, which is 661-631-6011. You can also visit the Department of Human Services website, that is kcdhs.org, for a list of resources and information.